Hi everybody. On today's episode, Brian and I were up in New York for the Catskills Makers Camp. We were up there with Jeff and Rob from Greene Street Joinery. They introduced us to a bunch of great guys and we had a lot of good conversations, so we hope you enjoy listening to some of them, and we'll catch you all later.
Hey, welcome to the RT Machine Podcast. We're on episode 14 here, and we have the people from Onieda Dust Collection Systems with us. You want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Lauren Letta.
I'm Mike Letta, digital marketing manager over at Onieda Air Systems. Thank you for pronouncing it right. I've heard every version of it under the sun. My personal favorite's Onieda.
Onieda.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good. Yeah, we're at Makers Camp here up in the Catskill Mountains at the Blackthorn Resort, and pretty nice. We're having some crappy weather right now. It's pouring down rain, but we're dry underneath the tent. And we're here with the Greene Street boys, and CT Woodworks are running the picture frames. So anybody that wanted to come in, they can grab a piece of walnut, and we take it through the process and all the way down to sanding and finishing, and you get to take that home with you. And you guys were so gracious to come up today and supply all the dust collection system.
Yeah, we didn't want to miss the rain. We're based out of Syracuse, so we bring it all with us.
Oh, that's where it came from. Yeah, coming off the lakes, huh?
Oh, yeah, 100%. We got tuned into Catskill Mountain Makers Camp here. Figured we'd give it a shot, see what's going on down here. I know you guys have been maybe like 5 or 6 years, I think it's been running for.
I think 19, maybe?
Yeah, that's when it started, and then it had like a little virtual one is what I heard during the pandemic times there.
Yeah, and this is our first year coming up. We're kind of figuring it out, seeing what we might want to bring next year for RT Machine Company. So
yeah, it's a great scene. I wish I wasn't working the show.
Yeah.
Kind of like
you got to
here.
mosey on around a little bit and see what a lot of blacksmithing going on, jewelry making, the welder's tents down there, knife making,
Tool restoration tent, that was fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here. We were up yesterday. I was up at the post and beam structure, helping out a little bit there. Didn't do a whole heck of a lot, but helped set and pound pegs. And
have you been over the carver's tent yet?
No, I didn't make it over there yesterday. Is that pretty good?
Yeah, that's where we got most of our systems all set up. We've got our little benchtop dust collectors. They're really small, like 10-pound unit you can kind of carry around, put in an area where you got tools that don't have any dust collection.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So they're doing it with like angle grinders, die grinders, Dremels, all that stuff.
So everything, it's a spark arresting system then?
Well, I don't want to get into that. No, it's mostly just for dust collection where there isn't any kind of connection.
Okay.
So it's really just about getting that, everybody knows, wood dust not good for your health and all that stuff. So
right.
You got a little home shop. And a lot of people just stick a big old fan there, just blow it outside or something like that. But you're making just a bigger cloud for you in the future. The bench top is just a little tiny thing. Sits on your workbench. You can carry it around, put it where you need to. Variable speed, so you can kind of turn it up and down as you need it.
Oh,
based on how much dust and airflow you need. But yeah, we got like 15 units over there. Each little personal station as they're going through wood carving demos. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
I think yesterday they had a free carve where people could just. I saw one guy. He was there for 2 hours just making a little bird for the first time. He does any wood carving, but it's all spoons and coasters and stuff. So. Yeah.
So what's something like that cost in general?
Kind of ranges up. The benchtop mini, I believe, retails for about $340. When I say that kind of thing, people are like, oh, I could just, stick a furnace filter on a box fan. Isn't that the same thing?
No.
It's not the same though. But you're getting a high pressure fan that can actually pull air through a high quality filter.
Okay.
And it's not going to get choked. Even it's going to keep pulling that same volume of air, even when that filter is like clogged up with dust.
Yeah.
So that's what you're getting when you get that.
Well, I know. I'm pretty impressed with some of the other units. You want to kind of go through a few of the units we have here on the chop saw to start off, I guess.
Yeah, on the chop saw here, we've got our. We brought one of our basic little shop vacuums here, but what we got connected in between the shop vac and the saw is our Dust Deputy 2.5. It's a cyclone pre-separator, and what that's going to do is it's going to basically take all the dust out of the airstream and keep it from choking up the filter on that vacuum. Also gives you kind of doubles up your capacity as far as waste goes. I mean, chop saw is not going to put out a ton of dust, so that's going to be more of a recommendation for something like people's got like a little benchtop planer or something like that. That's really just making a big old mess.
Well, I tell you that being on that new Fez battery operated mini slider compound, I couldn't believe there's no dust coming off that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. It's literally pulling everything right off of that. It's pretty amazing. And then we're jumping in. We're over. Rob is over on the Saw Stop, and he's running the Dados, and then we have a bigger unit on there. What model is that?
That's our Supercell Turbo. We used to actually, yesterday we had it on the router table here in the center, and it had so much suction that it was actually holding the boards, like basically gluing them down to the table where you could barely move them. It was too much suction for that little guy there. So we moved it to the table saw about midday yesterday once we learned from our mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Supercell Turbo, it's a high pressure system. So it has about 10 times more suction pressure than a regular dust collector. Think of your Grizzlies, your Harbor Freights, those traditional, kind of like big fan wheels you're thinking of.
Right.
This is it's more equivalent to like a super powered shop vacuum. Vacuum might have like 120 inches. This has got about 90, but it's going to also have that high CFM. And
that thing is running 4 motors. I think each motor is like 1,300 RPM or something like that.
Yeah, it's got 4 vacuum motors all working in tandem. So if your hands get a little cold today, you can always kind of put them near the exhaust.
Oh, you got it. So is it variable?
That one doesn't need to be. It's just, it continuously high suction throughout the whole system there. We do have some variable speed motors. We didn't bring them here today. But we do have some that kind of run based off the demands of what's hooked up in your shop.
Right.
Those are our smart boost systems. Maybe you would talk to, I think you said before.
Scott's my salesman. Yeah.
Yeah, those are variable speed systems. And those are great if you've got like a bunch of stuff all ducted together and you're closing in open blast gates and you don't want to have to worry about really managing that too much. So we've got our smart boost systems that kind of will change the airflow speed and the RPM of the motor based on what's demanding it.
Well, that's really nice because Jeff and I were just talking about that last night. That on the one bigger system they're running, it's full on, and they have to actually keep ducts open on some of the other machines just to keep the CFM flow.
Oh yeah,
so that's really nice in the shop, being able to have everything connected and not have to like worry about I'm going to go over and shut gates and things off.
Yeah, there's a lot of like possibilities once you really get into the dust collection market. We don't make them ourselves, but we do resell them. If you've seen the automatic blast gates that people make out there, those are like they're cream of the crop there. Once you get like a good setup there where you just kind of like you're in a system that's working around you. You combine that with our smart boost system, and it's just like things opening and shutting on their own. Like you're in like the hive mind, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice feature. I tell you what, I was impressed. So we're pulling off walnut shavings off that Saw Stop, and it's more like I don't want to call it's 2-wheel dolly looking, but it's very compact, and you can move it right around. And that's running a 4-inch duct off of there.
Yeah, and since it's a high pressure system, you're getting the same performance at the inlet as you would after you got like. You can hook that up to 100 feet of hose or ductwork, and it's the same CFM on both ends of it.
Oh.
Yeah, unlike your traditional collectors, it can actually run the perimeter of the shop, so normally you're worried about like bends and turns. Yeah. This one's like, I don't mind. I can
very nice.
Yeah, we get a lot of those people who are like, I don't want ductwork hanging over my head. It looks clunky and messy, and I want to just tuck it away in the walls. And old school dust collectors, you can't do that because every inch and every bend and turn, you're losing pressure, you're losing power. But something like the Supercell, I like to think of it as like you've got a better bank to pull from. You've got a better well to draw power from. It's got 90 inches, and like I might lose 2 inches of suction on a turn, but I've got 90 now instead of 9 or 10 to begin with.
Right. Yeah, that's a great system.
Yeah, so a lot of people like they tuck it around like the inside of their shop or like behind the tools or like just some 4-inch pipe around the whole thing.
Then you're good to go.
And just come up where they need it, yeah.
Yeah, this one's just a mobile cart, but we have like ones on wall bracket mounted systems where people just set it there. And
yeah, I didn't want to hold the wall mounted system the whole show. So.
Right, yeah, that would have been a little heavy. So is that in different sizes in that same?
The cart version that we have here, this has got like the large wheels. It's more for like, we actually kind of built it with contractors in mind, people who need like a whole dust collection system to bring on the job site.
Yeah.
So that's why it's got those big wheels there to roll over cables and whatnot. But that one's only in the 14-gallon. We do have some kind of fixed freestanding models that go up to 30-gallon. And then our wall-mounted models will go up to 55-gallon.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so if you would never want to have to worry about emptying it until you really regret it. It's like, now you got to move 55 gallons of dust.
So what is something like that?
The mobile version here, I mean, I think the lower range of our our smaller bin and wall-mounted ones tend to be the cheapest. They're around $2,300. I think they're on sale right now. This model here is up to, I believe, $2,800.
Okay.
Or actually, well, I mean, I don't know if it matters for the guys on the podcast, but we are selling this one at the show if you want to take it home.
Yeah.
At a deep discount too. But
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I mean, some people might think on the investment side, but after watching this work at the show, it's pretty amazing.
I'll appreciate that.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
really is. And then we have the Mini Gorilla.
Yeah, that's one of our older models, the Supercell. We came out just before, COVID years here. But Mini Gorilla we've had for a long time. It's evolved over the years. But that's a molded resin model. So instead of steel, it's a very lightweight system. The whole thing with motor, I think, is only 85 pounds.
Yeah, it's pretty lightweight.
Yeah. I mean, I carried it off the van up to here. So glad to have a lightweight model here. That's got a 5-inch pour. It's more of a traditional dust collector. So it's got a fixed RPM speed, but it's great for pretty much any tool in the shop, 5 inches and under.
Very mobile.
Very mobile. It's got a certified HEPA filter. It's got 22-gallon dust container underneath it that kind of drops out and you can wheel it around. But it's also got you can put disposable liner bags in there if you don't want to have to carry a whole bin around and dump it. You can just tie it off. Then you don't have that big dust cloud that you're worrying about.
Yeah.
And it's a 1.5 U.S. made motor at the top there too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we actually use one of those in our shop for test running machines.
Oh,
Right,
nice.
Dean? Yeah, we move out. It's nice because we'll pull up. We actually have, I think we had it on that Stanza sander right now, where we would just pop it in, and the Stanza sander's 37-inch with rotary and two planetary heads and actually cross section. And it does a really nice job on that. And then we're pulling, how many ports on that? Like 6?
6 ports, and with all the manifolds, we got down to 1. But
Yeah. So, I mean, it does a really amazing job.
Yeah.
So we use it on a lot of stuff through the shop for testing. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I think over the years I've seen it used. I mean, we built it for the home shop guy, the guy who just needs to get something in his little basement or garage shop. But we've seen so much use of people using it on production lines. Just I need it here. I need dust collection here. I can't run ductwork and hose over this. I need it right at this spot.
Well, I like the cartridge setup on it. Without having a bag that's blowing dust and stuff when you fire it up, and the system on that is just fantastic. How compact it is. What do they typically list for?
I believe that one is currently at $1,800.
That's
$1,800, and then like $100 shipping anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah.
I believe that's what that one's currently running for. That's we have that in a 120 and a 220 volt model. So depending on what people, that's kind of true for a lot of our systems. Whatever you need for your shop. Bigger ones would go up to 3-phase and 460 volt, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, typically what I'm quoting on my side, I'm typically in the heavier industrial side of things, so we're up there quite a bit. we're climbing in the $15,000 to $30,000 type of units is what we're typically at. Well, it's when we're building on somebody's system, but as far as the smaller shops and point of use, it's perfect. Fantastic.
Yeah, we also have one other system tucked in the back here. I don't think it's getting much use today as of yet, but that's our Dust Cobra.
Okay.
That's another high-pressure system, but it's more kind of a hybrid between the two of these, where it's also molded, so it's very lightweight. It's got a high-pressure system, not quite as much as the Supercell, but it's more designed for your 2.5-inch and smaller ports. So we originally designed it for use with stuff like floor sanding. Those guys who are just ripping up floorboards, taking multiple passes and just getting gallons of dust, per second. The Dust Cobra kind of got birthed out of that industry, and then we kind of redesigned it for more general use as well.
Oh, nice.
So it's a full certified HEPA unit for again, since we built it for people doing floor sanding, they need something that's not going to get more dust in people's houses.
Well, I've done some floor sanding, and I can tell you,
you're going to
not have very good dust collection, and it's miserable.
Yeah, it's a rough industry either way. I mean, a lot of traditional stuff is if you're floor sanding, maybe you remember a lot of outfits will have a van parked outside with a huge length of hose running into the house.
As well as those canvas bags too that just get everywhere. And you
the canvas bag just doesn't work. It's it's pulling up some bulk but it's
Yeah, it's mostly to keep your shirt clean, and it does a bad job at that.
yeah.
Yeah, so we got the dust cobra running back there. I don't think it's getting a lot of use today yet, but I think once we get some of these other projects going throughout the day here, I think it'll finally get its big day.
Yeah, we were on a little slower start yesterday for sure.
Yeah. And now we got the cheerful upstate New York weather here.
Yeah, it was hammering overnight. It rained pretty darn hard. We had the big bubbles in the tent here, and we got to keep on them all day long here to make
I got
sure
a long
they're-
pole somewhere dumping them out.
Yeah, yeah. Just right where we're standing here, I was basically a huge bubble. It was. It took me a while to get that one out of there. That's cool. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming up today and talking with us. And
Oh yeah, happy to. I mean, don't get a lot of chances for people who want to talk about dust collection. I feel like a lot of people see it as they're like, it's like, dad telling me I gotta like move the, thatch the roof or something like that. And,
Yeah.
it's that grown up conversation, but
yeah, and if you've spent any quality time in a shop, dust collection is like key.
oh yeah,
It just makes life so much easier.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And if you have a cumbersome system, it just makes it that much more difficult. Oh, I don't want to empty those dust bags, and everything you have going on here makes it really nice to be able to get rid of the waste without creating a whole big dust storm at
Yeah,
the same time.
It helps you keep doing the stuff you want to be doing too.
Yeah.
So much of our demographic is the old guys with the dream shop who like wish they had dust collection 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're trying to like basically start the conversation now. Let people know now there is stuff that you can invest in for a long time. I mean, very much these are like buy once,
Try once. Yeah.
Well, and I think the other key too is so many people that are doing stuff out of their home shop, either in
yeah.
their basements or garages, and to keep that contained.
Especially with CNC stuff these days. All the little units people got on workbenches now. And
Yeah.
the mess that they push out at high speeds there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to check out the carver's tent down there and see those units. I wasn't able to get down there yet.
Well, it's not far.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys hopping on today with us, and
Yeah. Thanks for having
Happy
me.
to join.
we're going to be here all day doing stuff. So if you want to hop back in with us, we'll do that.
All right. Sounds good.
And how do they get in touch with you?
Best way to find us is on our website. It's Onieda-air.com. We also have a direct phone line for people who want that kind of personal service and consultation.
Yeah.
But best place is probably to start at our website.
Excellent.
And for everybody who doesn't know how to spell Oneida, it's Oneida. I'll leave the pronunciation up to you guys though.
Cool. Yeah, well, we appreciate it very much.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
Hey, we're live.
Oh boy,
Jim, it's,
Yes, sir.
give us a little background of what you do, Jim.
I timber frame blacksmith for the night work and industrial HVAC guy
Like-
for my 40-hour a week.
Oh,
So,
good.
I like to be busy.
Well, I got to work in with you a little bit yesterday. You guys head up the timber frame project.
Yeah, I was a little out of sorts yesterday. It was a rough night the night before. So
He was without adult supervision, so
yeah, it was horrible. My wife's at home and hope she don't hear this. But
it was good. I didn't do a whole heck of a lot. I got to pound some pegs and hold some boards.
yeah, but you were more one of those sleeper types who knows what's going on but didn't want to say anything. I could tell the whole time. It's like, this guy knows what he's doing. Then you started showing me pictures. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, it's I dabble in the timber frame and any type of project I can pull it into on my
Yeah,
construction
same
side
here.
of things. Yeah.
I've gotten the benefit of going to a lot of timber frame guild stuff and building. I've built a few over the years, and I showed you some pictures of
Oh, yeah.
the home shop, and
Yeah, how big is that? It's
28 by 50, 2-story.
yeah, it's huge. So from the pictures, nobody can see that here, but
Oh yeah, it was
pretty impressive.
big timbers. I'm used to doing the stuff alone.
Yeah.
I have trouble working in crews because I'm just used to. So I
Yeah.
tend to step back a little more when I'm working in a crowd because, like, what do I do?
Yeah, it's tough. Well, and you got to let people go at it and have some fun at it. And,
Yep.
yeah, we had it. We struggled on the two rafters at the very end of the day. I think it was
cow.
everybody was getting a little tired and just needed a little bit of input. And,
Oh, yeah.
it worked turned out. We recovered on it. And,
That's right. It's all that matters. Now you got to come in July when we actually do the joint cutting.
well, by the time I found out about this event, I was a little bit disappointed because as soon as I looked up timber frame, I was like, oh my God, I would have run up for that because
Oh yeah,
I've always enjoyed working with it. And
it's awesome because it's a smaller group. That's the only thing we're doing that entire weekend. And
So it's focused.
it's very focused. I know for myself, I get a lot of time to work with everybody individually. Just
Yeah.
show them how to run the chisel without chopping a finger off. And
How many guys did you have up for that?
I want to say 40 to 50, somewhere in there.
Wow, I had no
Yeah.
clue that it was that many guys.
It
That's
was-
pretty cool.
It was good. We had all walks show up for that one.
Yeah.
A bunch of the blacksmiths came, like Brandon from BCK Knives. James Hetfield looking guy running around.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few of them, but you got a bunch of people. It's a good time.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
We spent a ton of time test fitting joints just so everything slides nice, and that made a big difference this year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's almost the key to it is somebody having to get an idea of what you're trying to accomplish first and how,
yes, absolutely.
and then start putting the application to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had pretty good crew there yesterday. There was probably 15 guys anyway, in and
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah. Usually it's a lot more, but we raised the frame a day early
Yeah.
because we didn't want to do it in this. So normally we have a ton of people down there watching, and
It went pretty quick, though. I think the first one went up right around like 1 o'clock, I think I had. And
yep,
then by, I don't know, 6, a little after 6-ish, we had it.
we didn't even start till about 10 a.m.
Oh,
Everybody was dragging themselves back up there from, opening night of Blackthorn. And holy cow,
The
my
big-
liver still hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a neat event. This is our first time up. So,
God.
we're trying to get our.
Guarantee you'll be here next year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Our feet wet, seeing what more we could bring to the plate with our RT machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this is one of those places, for one, the networking's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody gets along. It's a good time.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, Matt over there, we were talking to him on yesterday morning, and he was like, I'm so easy to talk into money. I'm like, I'm the guy you want to talk to. I could talk you into spending your money.
That's right. I need to stay away from people like you.
So tell us a little bit about your blacksmith and your chisels you were showing me yesterday.
So I got into making the timber framing tools after I got hurt on one, actually the one at home that I built. And I wanted to stay connected to it. And I love blacksmithing anyway. So I do 1080 steel timber framing chisels and slicks. Do like the big 3-inch slicks that are almost 3 feet long, somewhere in there. All the way down to 1 inch. Do carving hatchets, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And they sell. I can't keep them in stock. So it's not a bad problem to have.
Oh no, that's really good. I gotta add some of yours to my toolbox there. I was telling you a little bit about the one we can't quite. I'll bring it up next time and you can check it out. But we think it's somewhere between 1800s.
Probably is. Yeah.
And, it's pretty neat, but it's amazing. People don't realize how much weight is involved to make a good chisel,
Oh, yeah.
and it actually makes your life a lot easier.
We have a lot of people like the really lightweight Japanese chisels, but a lot of their stuff is designed for the softwoods that they use over in Japan. And European style tools are usually meant for much heavier stuff because they're dealing with a lot of the European style, a lot of oak, a
Yeah,
lot of beech, a lot of stuff like that. And you need the heavier bodied stuff to really power through some of those knots and the end grains and whatnot. But
well, people don't realize it makes you that much more precision. Some might pick them up and think, boy, this is going to be hard to use, but it actually keeps you more steady and allows your chisel to stay flat and stuff, especially when you're just going-
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like chainsaws. If you get yourself a little 35cc chainsaw and you're trying to cut your winter's firewood, you're killing yourself the whole time. You go get a nice 70, 80cc pro grade chainsaw. It's like you set it down and it eats. It's the same
Oh,
thing
yeah.
with the chisels and whatnot.
Yeah, it turns a miserable job into a fun job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You see that pile I just chopped up over there?
That's right. I got 6 pieces cut today and I'm dying over here. But, your wife's laughing at you the whole time.
Well, it's funny. We were talking about chainsaws last night. We were sitting around after dinner and drinking a couple beers, and we got on the chainsaw cup. And my wife actually bought my first big chainsaw when we got married. And I've had that for like 34 years now.
What is it?
It's OV 34 steel, and still like part of the old school.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I opened this up for Christmas, and I was like, how did you even know what to buy me? She goes, I went into the store, the one outdoors place that we used to do a lot of work with and stuff. And she goes, it's for Brian. Brian loves horsepower. He goes, you want this one? This one has a little, it's light enough, to swing all day, but it's been a fantastic saw.
Oh yeah, they're great machines.
Oh yeah, it's been, it's funny because my son has my father-in-law's old, man, I think that's like a OV42 or 5. I mean, it's
045.
It's a tank.
AV 045 probably.
Is that
about 75 cc?
Yeah.
The old horizontal cylinder in there.
Yeah.
My first chainsaw mill
Heavy.
was one of those. And heavy. Oh, it's a boat anchor. Slow, but so much power.
Oh yeah.
I got an old McCulloch gear reduction one at home from the 50s.
Oh, sweet.
And you could almost see the half-inch tipper teeth on it. You could almost see them turning because it moves so slow. But
oh, that's cool.
I don't use that one often. That's just for show.
Yeah. You got anything with tuned pipes or anything on them for?
I do a lot of porting and polishing on my saws.
Oh, nice.
But I do a lot of work porting, so I don't do a lot of the. I've got the exhaust. I have saws that look like they should be thrown in the trash, but you fire them up, they sound like a dirt bike, and they just go. I'll lighten the pistons, work the transfers, and
man after my own heart.
I'm into a lot of different stuff, man. My problem is I get into something and I deep dive. I go down rabbit holes.
Yeah.
And I get so many hobbies going, but I never give up on any of them. So.
Oh, you and I are like that.
Oh yeah, I think so. It's horrible. It's great and it's horrible.
Yeah. Everybody's like, how do you get time for all this stuff? Well, you have like time frames.
Yeah.
You slide stuff in and or you get bored with something for a little bit. It's not like you're bored to the point you want to get out of it. It's just
you need something else to do.
Yeah, diversion. I think that's part of that ADD stuff that goes on with a lot of us.
Oh yeah, you start to pick up something in the driveway, and before you know it, you're in the back cow pasture picking the fence. Yeah, I do that. I have.
Oh shit!
that.
I didn't realize that needed weed whack while I was over here. And I was going to take the mail out. Yeah.
We raise beef at home also, so we also farm. We live on about 500-acre farm, all of us together. And
that's super nice. And you're up. What was the town you're in?
Clayton, New York, up in the Thousand Island region.
Oh, it's beautiful country.
Yeah, it's nice up there. But,
you can't beat that.
No, sir. But there's always something to do.
Yeah.
Tearing a tractor down one day, rebuilding it, or who knows?
Porting and polishing the chainsaw.
That's right.
Or back onto the chisels. Yeah, definitely have to. How do people find you?
It'd be the YouTube's the Tradesman Channel. Instagram is the Tradesman Channel, and the website is tradesmanoffgrid.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on today, Jim.
Absolutely.
We'll hop back on maybe a little later, and we'll.
Just don't see me after about 10 o'clock or so. Conversation gets dark in a hurry.
Yeah.
My sense of humor's bad, man.
Yeah, I think we were talking about that yesterday, a little dark sense of humor.
A little bit, a little gallows humor there, I guess, for the nice way of saying it.
Very cool.
But,
all right, cool.
Absolutely.
We'll revisit it then.
You got it, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Jim.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool. Taking a little break.
Yeah.
Got Rob and Jeff on Greene Street Joinery.
Here in the muck and the rain.
Yeah, we're braving the weather here at the Maker Camp 2023.
Yep. We got a busy tent today. Yesterday was pretty quiet, but it started raining overnight pretty hard, and we have the high dry tent up here on the asphalt. So
Yeah. Once people make it up to the top of the hill on the blacktop, they're not going anywhere.
No, we got the PA system going on. Come on up. We're nice and quiet here.
I took a stroll down to the little bathroom building down there to take a leak, and it's treacherous down there in the mud.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, working up here, you don't realize how hard it's raining. They're spreading hay, and the folks in the tents down there at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, the poor Carver's tent. It's a river going on over there.
Yeah, we did luck out. There's been some guys going around knocking the water off of the roof. So
yeah,
building up quick.
So this is your first Maker Camp. What do you guys think about it?
It was pretty good. It was a little slow going, getting going, but we were in early, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Today's
it.
like the big day.
Mm-hmm.
Is today.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow will be pretty good too.
Yeah.
Today is kind of I wouldn't call it a washout, but It makes it tough to travel from tent to tent.
Yeah, and especially if it's not raining tomorrow, it'll be like one of those things where when the weather gets nice, how people rush out.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who planned on day tripping today, we have the long weekend for Columbus Day, so they might be out tomorrow.
Coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice setup. We got who's it over there? Who supplied the wood on
Highland Hardwoods.
Highland?
Yeah, so they're the sponsors of the tent. They provided the wood. So they brought us like 1,200 linear feet of walnut. And we broke it down to like 2 1/8 by 3/4 by 42, and that's what makes a frame, one picture frame. So I don't think we even said it. We're making picture frames. So attendees can come in, we'll chop the piece to length, send it over to the dado, cut the half lap joinery. They can assemble it, glue it up, pin it, sand it, finish it, and take it home. So
it's pretty cool.
It's a pretty nice looking little frame when it's done.
It is. It's gorgeous looking.
Yeah.
And it's a very forgiving
Yes.
design, So there's a lot of people here who've never touched a piece of woodworking machinery in their life. So they can come in, we do the cutting.
The heavy lifting.
Yeah, they're going to just, nail it together, sand it, and finish it. And, it looks nice.
You were fading out there.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like we got a little weather interference.
Oh,
yeah, it's starting to
Yeah.
We're getting some of that sideways rain now.
starting to blow a little bit.
Holy cow. It's a monsoon, but it's still dry, semi-dry over here.
That's right. Come on down.
It's pretty good, though. We were over at the timber frame. We had Jim on. We talked to him a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Pretty good. He has the...
Yeah, you did some timber framing yesterday.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good crew.
We're losing light.
Yeah.
That one dust collector going on.
We're getting the brown out when that dust collector goes on. And we should thank Onieda for bringing the dust collectors. You talked to them earlier.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a little rundown on the models that we had here at the show, and they also had stuff down at the Carver's tent.
Yeah.
So,
that Lake Carver.
Lake Carver, yeah.
Yeah, this
feel it for this guy.
Supercell, or whatever it's called,
Yes.
very impressive for the size. And
That's what I said. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
how well that unit.
That would be good to pick up a couple small machines, like a hinge boring machine and a miter saw, pick up a couple with some small black gates,
yeah.
split it off into a bunch of 2.5 inch
Yeah.
hoses.
Yeah, I like it.
So far, we got a good crowd here in the tent, though, right now.
Oh, yeah. What do
Yeah.
you say? There's probably good, 50 people in here?
Yeah. Easy. They keep coming in. The harder the rain comes, more people start coming over.
Yeah.
They go look at that. Let's go to the dry spot. Yeah, because once you're here, you're here.
Yeah.
You're in it.
We got, who's on the chop saw right now?
That's Robert Bliss,
This on there.
Where's Robert's shop at?
New Hampshire.
Yep.
Yeah, a few guys from New Hampshire up there.
Yeah.
Matt's from
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of New England area people here this week.
Yeah. There was a couple guys from Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
We met guys last year from Montana, Canada, all over.
Yeah. Heck of a trek.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Pretty.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's still in the tents up there now. Holy cow.
Let's hope he doesn't punch a hole in it.
Yeah.
Need to make a big flat pusher.
Yeah, I forget what wood. You guys look at what wood he was making these.
I think it was Osage orange.
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I've heard there's one of the tribes in like Arkansas, sort of the southeast kind of U.S. They want to cut the Osage orange under like a certain moon and all these different things to make those bows.
Oh, wow.
There's like a whole ritual around it.
Yeah, so right next door to us is guy. He's whittling away at these big bows. They're probably 6 foot plus.
Yeah.
We have a shooting tent. I think he's They going to do that today yet, or was that?
I don't know.
I got a whole shipping container over here.
Yeah, he might wait till tomorrow
Yeah, a little drier.
because of the weather. But wait, you think you could see RT coming up here next year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was, this year was a good fact-finding mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find out what's going on. Now we just have to figure out what makes sense.
Yeah, you know who might even be a good client is the host of the event.
Austin.
Yeah, because they're looking to set things up. They may want to establish something more permanent as far as
that would be really cool.
Their little shop that they do for off-season stuff, and maybe.
Yeah, that might be a good. Oh, you're just telling me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they built a maker space in the basement of that building over there where the timber frame is.
There you go.
There we go.
What?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique facility up here for sure.
Oh yeah.
Pretty neat way.
Oh my God.
I better move all this crap.
Yeah. For those listening at home, the wind is coming in. And the rain's starting to go sideways.
So much for only being like 40% chance of shower.
Yeah.
I think we're hard in the 40%.
Yeah, we're in that 40% range.
Some side curtains might have been a good deal on there.
Oh,
Excellent.
man.
Well, we'll stop back in a little bit later here.
Yeah, when the sun's out.
Yeah.
We're going to start giving away some of this swag.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We have the trivia coming up.
Yeah, there we
We'll
go.
probably start doing some of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's.
MC it. I sound like I'm the wedding DJ. when I'm
Come on down to the woodworking tent.
Yeah.
Next up, the
Hokey
father-daughter
pokey.
dance.
Yes, the father-daughter dance. And the kind of Venetian hour will be.
Oh, yeah, the Venetian dessert, whatever they call that.
Yeah.
That's a Long Island thing.
Yeah.
I think we have the honeymoon suite over there. We have
Yeah.
the big heart-shaped tub.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll have to get some photographic evidence of that.
Been pretty good. Cool. Well, we'll stop back in a little later.
All right, we'll be talking to you later.
Yeah,
All right,
talk to
cool.
Thank you.
I'm Matt from IKAG. We're located in Simsbury, Connecticut, and we're making custom cabinets.
Cool.
I'm Corey Ty from CT Woodwork. I'm in Long Island, New York. We do custom cabinets, furniture. I teach woodworking classes, membership to my shop, a little of everything.
Rob DeMarco from Long Island. I work with Corey a couple of days a week, and I do some of my own stuff in my own shop, do some turnings and small things like that.
It's good. Good group today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. Surviving a rainy Saturday here.
Surviving the monsoons of the Maker Camp.
Yeah.
We keep getting through the hurricane of each rain here coming through, and it's been tough.
Yeah.
We just came down from the tavern, went down to get a burger and a beer. It's been.
You made it all the way back up here.
We made it back.
Yeah.
Just in
That's a
time,
feat
too. The rain
itself.
picked back up.
Yeah, this is awesome, dude. We've been doing demonstrations all weekend. These guys are, we got a setup here, a couple of cordless tools, and cranking out some picture frames for everybody.
Yeah. Cool.
Been having fun.
What all kind of work do you do, Matt?
Mostly we're doing residential, trying to push high-end cabinetry. So full custom kitchens has been a really great source for us for, kind of longer-term projects, things that take, multiple months, even up to a year sometimes. And then we fill in the blanks with, smaller pieces, maybe a built-in for a little area, a couple pieces of furniture, kind of trying to build my book doing that. I've done one or two pieces that are just like built, sitting there, kind of for sale type things, and working just to be able to have the creative freedom where people know that you have that skill and they're calling you just because they want you to be the one to work on it. And
Yeah.
I've tried to been pushing the quality higher and higher and trying to build that trust and try to get a little bit of repeat client work going on, which has been really, really nice.
That's the name of the game. Get the
not-
repeat.
Exactly. Not having to pay for advertising, not having to meet all sorts of new people all the time. I'd love to only have to deal with 5 or 10 clients a year. Is a perfect perfect situation for me, just because it's a lot of work doing the quotes, doing the customer interactions, keeping people happy all the time. It's time consuming. So less projects that are higher dollar and kind of slower paced is perfect for me. Spend a lot of time in the design, buy some really nice materials and just get to take it to a high level. You don't get to do that right off the bat. People aren't going to trust you with,
Right.
$50,000, whatever big, huge job. But like once you've kind of been in it for a few years and you can start to get those things to work, it's been great for me. And that's kind of been, we're still small. It's me and one other kind of helper.
You were just going through a big move, weren't you?
Yeah, we're in the throes of it right now, actually. We're leaving our first shop. We'd been there for 2 years, and now we're moving in, going from about 1,200 square foot shop space to about 4,000 square feet shop space.
Very
so
nice.
It should be a proper upgrade and really give us the we have a lot of really, really awesome equipment, but we've kind of been choking it down and cramming it next to each other, and it's been a disservice to what it's capable of. You know what I mean? When you only have 6 feet in front of your planer when you should have 12, it's like, you're just making things, you're doing weird stuff when you shouldn't have to. You're constantly shuffling things around. It'll be nice to have carts and stations and set it up a little bit more properly. And it's just, you don't know what you don't know when you're getting into it. I had never had a real shop. I had never set up a real shop. So I thought when I left a 250 square foot garage and went to 1,200 square at this first place, I was like, I'm set for life. I was ready to buy that building. I was like, oh, here we go. I'm good. Like, I love this spot. It's a minute from my house. This is where I'm going to be forever. And then
at the end of the week, you were like, I don't have enough room.
No, it was crazy. And it was like literally within the first year, I was like, oh my God, like I can't be here forever. There's no room in here. And then of course, you constantly on Facebook finding new things. Somebody call, oh, we got this tool for sale, whatever. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So I'll go and pick up cheap stuff and fill up the entire thing until there's no room left. And it's like, hopefully at this new spot, eventually the thought being, you might upgrade certain things. You don't need repeats of all sorts of things. So eventually you'll have enough where you can do all the things you're doing. And that hopefully will be this next place and just, set it up properly and give ourselves, room to grow and expand a little bit, into the future. Now leave some open space this time. So we actually have
leave some open space
room
for our
build
team
stuff.
machine to slide in.
Exactly.
I hear you need an edge bander.
Oh, yeah. It's all part of the conversation.
You just happen to be talking to the edge bender specialist.
Yeah, 100%. And for me, it's like I'm always ready to take that next leap or buy the next tool. It's really just coming to, and you all know, it's coming to the right point with the right project, and just having enough of it ready where you're like, all right, cool. Like when Jeff and Rob took the plunge with you guys, I know that they had a whole bunch of that frameless work just ready to go. They had bids out that were good, and they're like, all right, this is the time. We have a ton of this, and it's going to speed up the process enough where that monthly payment, it all makes total sense. So
well, and they had a lot of stuff coming across their plate that they weren't quite bidding because of
the lack of it.
The lack of the machine.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Knowing, okay, well, this is going to take us, a week to do that, and from there, and trying to ramp that up.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's good to see guys growing and
we're trying,
moving on through.
We're still early, but we're working through it. I know Corey's been at it for a couple more years than I have. Definitely wasn't setting up or wasn't his first time in a shop when he was building out his first shop. So that's a good transition. But what's up with you?
Me? Well, next year I'm in the process of buying the shop actually, and the whole property with a house. It's about 2,800 square foot, completely off the ground. It's got a OSB on the floor, so it's nice and good on your feet. You're not in the concrete. Got plenty of projects coming through. We do a lot of furniture, built-ins a lot, bath and vanities. I like to get into more kitchens, but I got the slider now, and the next thing I think I want to get is like a wide belt sander.
Absolutely.
And then, the classes are pretty good. I'm the only one on Long Island that teaches classes, so I have a good shot at that.
That's good. What kind of clients are you getting from on the teaching side? Is it?
It's everybody from high school age to retired.
Oh, wow.
So everything.
Yeah.
And then I even have a class called The Woman in the Wood Shop. So it's only a woman-based class. We build a cutting board that's got through inlays in it, and it's a 4-night class. And they come back for more classes. They just get thrilled of it. And none of them touch the tool in their life, and they go home with a cutting board. So they're thrilled.
That's so it's very addictive.
Oh, yeah. I could tell you, everybody come for the next class is, you're a bad influence. Like, I need this, and this. And they're like, oh, you don't need that one.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
That's cool. Actually, I don't think I've ever asked you this. Have you ever had a class student also as a client or vice versa? Were they a client and then a class student?
Trying to think of that. I think I've had somebody way back that had that.
Yeah. That just seems like, you might, I guess,
or
customer first.
I've also had somebody that took a class and they're like, oh, I really want to make my own coffee table.
There you go.
So, okay, we figure out a schedule for both of us to work. We go to the lumber yard, we pick up the material, and then we just have built it. And then we just buy the hourly rate they pay me.
That's so cool.
That's a really nice feature.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. That's,
So I have a lady that started that way. We started with the intro class where we learned how to use the machinery. Then we did a little keepsake box, and then she's like, I want to get really into woodworking. I want to make a workbench. So we built the Rubo workbench, which if you ever saw one of those, it's like a 500-pound workbench, solid. And we built that over 6 months in my shop. She came twice a week for 2 hours both days. And then she's like now on her 3rd year taking lessons with me.
That's so cool.
Now, does she have any home equipment yet, or
she has a one-car garage that we and Rob set up, state of the art. I mean, it's like Lunar Park, plywood everywhere, and she has, I think, like a 200 amp service in a one-car garage.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
With a separate meter from the pole
Nice.
and everything.
Oh, so she's got a true.
And then, of course, now she's like, her kids moved out, so now she's like, well, I want to move. So she's moving upstate, about 2 hours away, to a house with like 5 acres and a 30 by 30 shop. And she's getting it all set up and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. She's not losing me, so.
That's awesome.
So she's still in the move right now, or?
Yeah, by the end of this year, she'll be up there.
Oh, wow.
So then me and Rob are going to help her with it and move her machines up. 'Cause it's not like big stuff. It's like a saw stop, little planer, joiner, bandsaw stuff. But
That's really cool. And she started out how many years ago doing it?
so 3 years ago with no experience doing woodworking,
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's good to see that.
And I've had a few people that I've helped set up their shops because they took classes and they're like, oh, what should I need? So I go to their house and I help them out and they give me a couple bucks or something. But and then I've had another guy that was actually, before my shop I'm in now, I had another shop that was 3.5 car garage. He was handicapped. He came in a wheelchair.
That's so cool.
And he built the cutting board. And then like months later, he called me. He's like, can you come to my house? I want to help, advice on some stuff. So he actually started his side hustle business, making cutting boards for my class. So I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, that is cool.
Cool.
So
I didn't know that one.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing it. I'm 32. I've been doing it half my lifetime professionally, working in shops. 4 shops before I went on my own.
Man after my own heart.
You know?
I started in my dad's shop at 10 years old. And it was actually at home. He had me on table saws at like 8 years old. So it was, I was a little Amish kid.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Different time.
In the English society, yeah.
How did you two meet, DeMarco and Corey?
Corey and I met through the woodworking club that we both on Long Island.
Yeah. That's really cool.
He's been a member actually, I was a member 30 years ago originally when it originally started, but then I started working nights and I couldn't do it anymore. But I rejoined about 10 years ago, and Corey was a member there already, and that's how we hooked up.
Yeah.
And I retired a couple of years ago from transit, and he needed some help this year. So it just worked out that I needed something to do, and he needed some help. So I go work with him a couple of days a week.
That's perfect.
And I've learned a lot working with him. You think you know a lot until you go work with somebody who does it every day. You find out you don't know nothing.
The humbling experience.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Yes,
I helped him build his bathroom vanity that friends of ours helped build too.
Yeah, I just did a bathroom renovation, and I wanted something nice, so we did a walnut vanity and a walnut medicine chest. And Corey helped me take care of that, put it all together, so it would be square and correct instead of crooked and wrong. But it come out really nice too, so I can't complain about that.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's cool working with Corey. Every day's a learning experience, that's for sure. And when I screw things up, he doesn't get too mad.
What it is.
I think I get mad at myself when I screw things up. Like the other day when we were doing the biscuit joining, and the biscuit joiner shifted, and it wasn't my fault, but like I wanted to throw the thing across the room, but
And I'm like,
he was just like, all right, here's another piece
off the rack. Put it in, cut it, done.
Yeah.
I'm just hard on myself. It's just the way I am, it's the way I'm wired. But he doesn't get upset. He's like, all right, we'll just.
I explain that in all my classes. There's always a fix for something.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. We can always fix it. We get a new piece. It's not like.
Yeah.
But.
But I learned early on, anybody can screw them up. Not everybody can fix them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's, as the guys at the club say, the experienced guys at the club say, the guy who's a good craftsman is the guy who can fix the mistake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because when everything goes right, it's great. It's when something goes wrong and you gotta.
Or it's a new design element in the piece.
Exactly. Yeah. New feature.
Yeah.
New feature. Yeah. That's like when I do my turnings. It's like and when something messes up or you think you got it right, and you go and you take one last pass to just clean everything up, and then you get a catch, and you're like, all right, it's just a design change now.
Yeah.
Can be a little bit smaller in this
Yeah,
area.
exactly.
Sometimes you got to go back to the lumberyard.
Yeah, sometimes you do.
We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool seeing a lot of what you guys are doing. With me out in the field more now that coming from my own company, and we did a lot of panel processing work and case work and stuff. Most of our stuff was geared around commercial type of things, and we did like closet work, residential and stuff. But we were never really in the hardwood industry, and it's really cool seeing what all you guys are doing out there, and it's pretty amazing. It's humbling too. As many years as I've been in the business, and you get into these shops, and it's like anything. Rob, you're just saying you feel like you know nothing. You get into what you guys are doing, a lot of these projects. It's super cool, and
Yeah, like I worked in a vinyl shop for a few months last year. And this guy did all exterior, like trim work and furniture and cabinets for outside, all out of vinyl. You think you're working with wood, it's the same concept. It's not. It's completely different. It was all CNC cut. You don't want to sand it too much because you melt it. So it's all light sanding. It's completely different aspect to it.
Well, you were working with the PVC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I hated it.
I think I know that.
Executive.
Executive.
Yeah, I know.
millwork.
Yeah, it's Rob down there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's who I
I've been
worked
into
for.
his shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole different atmosphere.
Oh,
Yeah. It's just, it was bad. I just like I would go in there and work all day and come out, I would be like white. My clothes would be white. My truck was turning white from the dust because it just becomes so staticky. You can't get it off.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. So it just, it wasn't
What's intriguing about that is that they recycle all that dust.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah. He at first when he was doing that, they wouldn't take it back to manufacturer.
Oh, no.
He finally talked them into doing it. They send him bags, and he fills them up, and like once every 2 or 3 months, a truck comes down, a tractor trailer, and we loaded up 40-foot trailer up with all the garbage.
All the bags,
and they take it back. Yeah,
that's really cool.
So
yeah, he's pretty tight down there.
Yeah,
He's about out of room.
There was an open space next to us when I was there a year ago. He was talking about taking that over because he needs more space.
Oh yeah, he's.
But he was worried about a recession or whatever, and they were talking about he's like, but he's the only. There's only thing one other guy in Long Island that's doing the kind of stuff he does. He does unbelievable work too.
Now he just got, I think, a wine egg molder too.
Yeah.
He's doing that.
Not in.
He's got some pretty cool tools in that shop, but it's very, very tight. Very tight.
He's got a nice niche business.
Yeah. He originally the business was his father. He did mirrors.
Yeah, I guess they still kind of run that, but
they don't do that at all.
It's all done.
It's all done because in 08, everything kind of. They used to do a ton of mirrors for Atlantic City. They did like half the mirrored doors in Atlantic City.
Oh wow!
When Atlantic City opened 30 years ago, that's how his father's business. And then in 08, when everything kind of hit the crapper, he had to figure out another thing, and he got into this, and it's grown in leaps and bounds. His singing there at the 4x10 was running all day long when I was there.
Yeah,
all day. We would just swap out sheets, clean stuff up, and he would go about.
Yeah, he was doing a fair amount with the Starboard.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing more of that with the outdoor.
Yeah,
that's good for boats and everything. Yeah,
and a lot of they're doing a lot of stuff with outdoor kitchens with that.
Yeah. We did a bunch of outdoor kitchens. He was trying to get into outdoor furniture, like the Adirondack chairs and stuff like that. That's what he was saying. So,
well, I know they ran into I forget the name of the poor company that owns Starboard, but it was like 16 weeks out for material. Yeah, it was crazy. Some colors were over a year. It was a nuts.
We only worked in gray and white for the most part when I was there. He also used to he had a customer that used to retrofit video game machines, and we used to make the cabinets for him.
Out of the Starboard?
No, out of melamine, stuff like that. Yeah, we would just cut them up, and guy would order like 5 or 6 at a time. I'm like, who's buying these things? He's like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Corey, you came from some other shops where you were doing a lot of
I did everything from high-end exotic wood veneer curved bathrooms to we made a mile of fencing out of Spanish cedar for a client. I ran a CNC, Italian CNC for 4 years doing melamine for commercial jobs. We did a lot of car dealerships, hospitals, high schools. We did the labs. Corian work I did a lot of. I don't miss any of that stuff. That just sucks. Getting high off the glue from the laminate. No. And then the last shop I worked at, we did a lot of work on Fire Island, so that was interesting. You know, you'd have to take the ferry over. In the wintertime, you would meet in one of the fields, the parking lots, and the contractor would take you over on the beach to the house. It just sucked in the wintertime when it's like 40 degrees in the house with a little space heater, and you're like shaking your hand because it's so cold and putting crowning and cabinets up. But I don't miss that either. I love working for myself. It's the best thing.
Yeah.
Very rewarding. And feel, all the struggles and the stuff you go through, the tough times or whatever, going through moves and all that, you just know that it's all in service of what you're trying to get done. Your future you,
Yeah.
You're
only going to get better and bigger and better.
And the more you try to push yourself and experience different, stuff. And like you said, you've got a ton of experience working for different guys. Anytime, like you said before, get a different client, try a different material, try a different kind of spray in, try a different kind of finish, whatever it is. Just try to push the quality higher and higher because you're doing it, like you said, you're trying to build your own skill set. You want to be the best you can be, so.
I mean, that's how I did one job. We did a room divider. It was like two sheets of like walnut on MDF. I really wanted to get a shaper. So we're like, okay, well, half of it will pay for the job. We'll pay for it. And that's my most prized piece on Instagram is that room divider.
That's so cool. Most likes or whatever, most views, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
That was an interesting piece.
Pain in the ass to sand.
I have to say, a lot of hours into that, I can imagine, dude. That's crazy.
But I try to do that on every job. Try to I want that tool or this cutter. Price it in and let them pay for it,
100%,
and learn something new out of it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Is it what year? How long have you guys been coming here?
This is
the third year.
3 of Maker Camp. Yeah. 2021, I attended as a guest, I suppose.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And then from there
Last
on, we
year-
kind of collaborated on
With the hanging bench,
Yep.
and then we did our own little demos.
Yep. And then this year's a little bit change of pace. We're kind of all working together
Doing
on
picture
the,
frames.
Yeah, the picture frame process. So it's been good. I think we struck a nice balance of, we stayed busy. There was a ton of people here earlier. Now we're kind of chilled out for a little bit. Obviously, the rain's putting a little bit of damper on that, but I don't know. I think it's been a great weekend so far. I look forward to keep doing this. You know what I mean? Every year it seems to be getting better and better.
Bigger and bigger, more tents and everything.
More people, and I feel like just the general kind of, I don't know, the feeling of being here is just, it's so rare. And I think I've said it a couple times this weekend, but just like being surrounded by a whole group of people that are all generally on the same path. They're all, like we talked about a second ago, like trying to get better, improve their skill. Everyone that came here this weekend is looking to do something they've never done before.
Never done before.
That isn't every person. Not everyone wants to step out of their comfort zone and be uncomfortable learning a new skill or trying something new or looking silly doing something that they don't know how to do. It's just like it's an incredible opportunity to come collaborate, talk. I brought up a whole bunch of tools just to be able to have conversations about whatever, just things that are out there for sale that could potentially make your job easier or not. And, you can maybe steer somebody in the right direction or, tell somebody not to buy something that you used and hated or vice versa, or used and loved. You got to get this thing, dude. Like, it's just, you can trust.
Yeah,
based
the
on everyone's
networking from it
experience.
is
Exactly.
great.
It's a really fun
And the other good thing, the cool thing about here is you're around other influencers that we are inspired by on Instagram or YouTube, and they're hanging out, and you can just talk to them like a normal person. They're not like a stuck-off celebrity person.
Nope. Everybody's super down
It
to
brings
earth.
everything down a notch to.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody's at the same level here, and there's no judgment or anything.
No, nobody's trying to impress each other. We're all just here to learn, get better, share, like you said, and everyone's down on the same level, hanging out, getting wet, getting muddy.
Wet, yeah.
The ultimate equalizer.
That's definitely our first year, and we're trying to learn and see what people want. And,
Absolutely.
go from there, and I think they're looking to. Austin said, I think he's looking to do a full wood shop down there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there
No,
you go.
This should be growing every year. I even said, like you said, get a couple more guys in here. I would love to do that spray metal shit next year. Show up with my compressors, do a few demos, set up spray it 4 times throughout the weekend, polish it at another time during the weekend. I feel like people would show up and check that out. Hey guys, we have
Anything
cold
new,
applied
somebody's gonna
liquid
try.
metal. It'd be like, whoa, what's that? And just kind of, I don't know. I just love like I said, all the variety, all the different. I mean, I haven't even really taken an opportunity to walk around and really fully comprehend what's going on here as far as the variety. But I mean, just from what we can see here, we got a bunch of people doing TIG welding right next door. We got guys doing powder coating across
Plasma
the way.
cutters.
Yeah, plasma
Yeah,
cutters been
everything,
running
man.
all weekend. Like it's so crazy. And I know
this little handheld CNC unit's pretty
oh
cool.
yeah, Shaper,
Yeah,
dude.
that's the
what
one I
Corey was
got.
Just referring to with that.
It's
room
one of
device.
those tools you don't use it, but when you use it, man, it is so useful to have.
Absolutely.
They were doing the beams up there on the timber frame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was just finishing that up yesterday when I came in and started helping out. It was pretty cool.
It's endless. There's no limit to that machine.
No, and the new thing that they're kind of like showing over
It's the
there.
trace.
I pre-ordered that.
I
literally-
did too.
I set an alarm on my phone.
Oh.
I did it the second it was available because it's one of those things that is the hang up for me is getting something that I want into the machine in a efficient manner. Like it has to be a certain file type, SVG, and like we were talking about yesterday, you need to use Inkscape and all these programs to make sure that it's all going to be done right.
But with
and
that
this thing
thing,
is like
it's everything. So I could, if you put on a piece of paper your signature, I take a photo of it with their app,
and
and it'll convert all of your signature into SVG file for a CNC or a plasma cutter or a laser
Or the
engraver,
Cricut,
anything,
like
or a
you can make a
Cricut,
sticker.
anything.
Yeah.
So it's universal. It's not just for their machine. It's everything.
Yeah.
So is it their app then?
Yes,
It's their app.
It's their proprietary tech, and it's basically it looks like a picture frame.
Picture frame.
And you just surround, like Corey just said, whatever you want to have as the file or future cutout or whatever design, as long as it fits within.
That
I'd
frame.
say it's maybe 8x12 if I had to take a guess.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I was joking with these guys. I was
definitely
like, "Oh, so you brought me mine, right? That's mine in the box sitting right there." He's like, "Nah, you gotta keep these out for demo." I was like, "All right, fine." But apparently they are. I heard from
They're
Sean
shipping
that
them
they're
out.
shipping them out real soon, which is gonna be.
And then the other one they have there is the plate, which is cool.
Yeah,
they have all the hardware, like the Bloom, the Solici hardware, bow ties,
sauce, right?
The sauce
the
hinges,
drop-in ones,
and you
yeah.
just basically wherever you want to put it, you drop it there, and you just go. You don't have to rescan all the tape and everything.
Nope.
It makes things so much more efficient.
Yeah, the plate is sweet. The one thing I haven't really messed around
And the
with.
workstation.
I own the workstation, but I haven't really.
I've
taken it and
tinkered
used
with it. I've done mortise and tenon joints where you actually have to offset the cut by like 5,000ths of an inch. If you do 0 and 0, it physically won't fit in the
That's
hole.
so cool.
Yeah.
And that's a handheld CNC machine.
It's incredible the tech on that thing, and I've been trying to integrate it into my workflow recently because I bought one maybe less than 6 months ago, and it sat for a little bit because I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with this thing? And then finally, I started to I watched him use it a little bit, and then I was like, all right, let me think. Like templates, that's really where anything curved
work, yeah,
that I don't
it's
want to
perfect.
really sit there and sand down a little jig or whatever. I'm like, all right, my process that I've been doing recently is basically a sheet of 3/4 ply. I go in with the 1/4 inch bit, a 1/4 inch deep, and cut my shape. Then I go to my bandsaw. I follow in that groove off of an eighth or so, leaving a little bit of stuff around the edge.
And then flush trim it.
Flush trim on the router table. A little sand,
Yeah,
a
and
touch
that's
up if you need it, just to kind of clean up a little bit if something jumped or whatever. I once again another Corey inspired thing. If you do have a small mistake or a little jump with that, and you're just still in the plywood template phase, one of the cool things that he showed me is a LED cured putty. So essentially a filler. It's instant. So you gotta touch up the curve. It's got a little dent in it. Filler, light, sand.
Done.
Back to work.
It's like the ultimate Bondo.
It's freaking unreal.
Oh, nice.
How quick it is, and it's hard as a rock. Just
Yeah.
as soon as the light hits it, it's cured up. It's like magic. Like you can, you don't even stop. Like stopping for waiting for filler to dry, stopping and waiting for finish to dry. It's like antiquated in my shop, and I feel like I'm living in the future. It's unreal. Between like I said, the vesting LED finishes,
finish.
which I've pretty much entirely standardized across the board. My customers don't even know of any other option to cover wood with when it comes to my shop, unless you're going paint, obviously.
Yeah.
If we're doing anything, but you want it to look like it has poly or whatever, never spraying poly, never touching poly. We're putting the pure vesting finish on. We're hitting it with the light. 1, 2, 3 coats. Thing's absolutely gorgeous, and it looks better than feels. And is repairable better than anything else.
It's so much easier to repair.
And so it's like I don't know why anybody else would do anything differently. Like it's just.
I guess it's the
amazing.
biggest hiccup is the light up
price.
front.
Exactly, the price of the light. If somebody,
But it's a one-time purchase.
and you've got it. And I guess for anybody who's in their garage or their house, you're not going to go out and spend anywhere from 800 to 3,000 on some crazy fancy light. But if somebody comes in with some reasonable price on these things, I feel like they're going to absolutely just crush it. Like there's going to be more. This is just the very leading edge of all this tech. They're coming out with LED cured paints. They're coming out with all sorts of just wild stuff because it's available, and this is kind of where things are going. So I don't know. I've been loving it. And once again, it's just back to like shit. None of this I would even know about. I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I am if it wasn't for just even going all the way back to like just the Instagram community and being able to connect with people, talk to people, learn. I started my Instagram account right as I started my business. I've never had a personal Instagram account. It's always had my business as the front facing part of it. Yes, of course, I'll put up a picture of my son or whatever on there occasionally, but it's if you Google it, it's not under my name, it's under the company's name. And I've always kind of followed the people and kind of geared it towards, not following hot chicks or whatever, but mostly like looking for guys who are doing what Corey's doing or doing what Rob and Jeff were doing, like finding like people that I can use as inspiration or just kind of whatever, learn from.
Or as a reference too. Exactly. If you have a question, they 100%. Get right back to you.
And that part of it's been great. And like you said, getting over time, being able to meet people that have these giant followings or massive influence. I was talking to somebody the other day. I've got Ramon Artful, probably one of the guys I hold in the highest regard on YouTube. Like, if you told me to do something tomorrow on a video, I would change an entire process because that dude told me it was the way to do it. Like, I trust him with anything. And now he follows me. He comments on my posts. It's like, holy shit. Like, it's just such a cool place that, like, everybody who sees anybody else who's doing something cool, it's just like, the instant mutual respect. Everyone's just, like, game for it. It's a really cool thing. And like you said, being able to bounce questions.
The funny thing about Instagram, we were doing the picture frames today. 2 people came up to me like talking to me. I'm like, you're CT winner, yeah. I came up here because of your Instagram.
No,
I follow you on there, and you said you're coming up here, so I wanted to come up meet you. I wanted to do the stuff. So I'm like, that's cool.
That's so cool.
That is neat. Yeah,
yeah, I love that. It's a really unique place, and there's Austin himself, the host of the entire thing, checking on things.
Of the sea of mud.
I know, right? I had to cancel. My wife was going to come up here today. We told her to take a beat, come tomorrow. Hopefully, some of this will pass through and you can walk around a little bit.
Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny.
We'll see, baby. We will see. But yeah, this is quite a treat here. We got the whole podcast set up here, mobile.
Got the headset
thing. I was gonna say, I feel like we're all like sportscasters.
Yeah, sportscasters.
Hey, Rob, what do you think about that? No, it's fun, man. I'm super glad that you guys are doing this. It's a cool way to kind of connect and get yourself into the community. I mean, Rob and Jeff have basically established themselves as an authority on the subject just by having a freaking podcast for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they know
that's
a lot.
how we got into it.
That's what I want to get into it.
100%.
Just from doing all this stuff, it's fun.
And it's a good way, kind of. I was talking to somebody last night who just started one like last year, and he's like, "Oh, it's awesome, dude! I look forward to it every week. Get together with my guys. They shoot it at night, like whatever. Do it over Zoom. They're all across the country, and it's like, it's a great thing. And it kind of gives you a little bit of a routine each week, and kind of just it keeps you, whatever, in conversation. Constantly putting out content. It's putting out content. It's what a lot of.
And it gets your name out there too.
100%.
Yeah, our audience is starting to grow.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Leapfrogging off everybody else.
You got to, dude.
Running the coattails. And
listen, it's what it's all about. And then over time, you'll find your 1,000 true fans, and those people they'll go to bat for you and tell other people about it. It's like, oh, you got to listen to this thing. These guys are awesome. And it's just you got to grow slowly, but I feel like it's better to grow slowly because it's organic. It's people who actually care. It's not you didn't do something that's like a flash in the pan and it's cool for 15 minutes or trendy or whatever. Like, no, you have guys who care, guys who want to learn, guys who are interested in this, who are going to come and be your.
Well, and we're trying to be a face, you know, and that before I show up at the shop or. It was funny because when I went up to Corey's shop and I didn't even know they really listened to the podcast.
Oh yeah,
I guess my first one was Hot Rods and Edge Painters, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we know you guys.
We know you." Walked in the door. I know you.
I had a guy earlier. He goes, "I thought you were much taller."
The sound of your voice. Come on.
You're not what I pictured, but you look like you should.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny.
That was a good one.
Very cool.
Cool. Well, how do guys catch up with you, Matt?
So basically I am at Instagram, IKAG Viz, V-I-Z. And just for anybody who's never heard of me, IKAG stands for I Know a Guy.
I know a guy.
So that's kind of been my little fun thing. I never write it all out. All my logo, everything's always been the abbreviations. And I kind of like it that way. Years ago, people used to give me a hard time, like, why do you keep it like so cryptic and weird? I'm like, dude, trust me. Like, when people know it, they're gonna know it because they thought about it for a second, like, what the hell is IKAG?
Yeah.
And then when you get that aha moment of like, I know, and then everybody's always saying, I know a guy, I know a guy,
know a guy.
You need this. Like, and when I first was getting into the business, I was, like I said before, a little bit more of a remodeler, and that was kind of where I wanted to be a hub where if you wanted something done in your house, you would call me, and I had the ability to pass it to my plumber, my trusted trade partners, pass it to my electrician, pass it to my guy who does great demo work or sheetrock, whatever it is, painters, all these things. I just wanted to be somebody who could elevate a project because I've chosen the right selection of crew. You know what I mean?
You're like the Vince Vaughn. I know a guy.
100%.
Great sand guy. We can get that guy.
That's what I mean. And it's like, it was kind of like a little jokey or whatever, but like at the same time, like, it's true. Like, if you want something done and if you're new to an area or whatever, or you're just it's your first house, you've never remodeled before, like, you got to kind of get in with somebody.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I've had a little bit of repeat client work or friends of client work, and like that's like the best because you have almost like a built-in trust going into it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Kat, I did this job for Catherine. She freaking loved you. Like, and you're welcomed into the house in just a different way.
Yeah.
Than like almost like it's like there's no cold call. Like you're already kind of familiar. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, you already got the
deal
audition.
is. Exactly. Which is it makes you comfortable going into it, and it's just I don't know. It's been great. And like I said, that's I know I got a little off topic, but IKAG, that's my shit, and you can find me on Instagram
and you're what,
mostly.
Connecticut,
yeah, Simsbury, Connecticut. About 2 hours from where we are right now, Makers Camp, and about a half hour outside of Hartford. So
cool.
It's a good little spot. So it's a relatively wealthy area. So I got clients that are willing to sign up some pretty sweet stuff, and
that's always a good thing.
And it's nice and close to home, which is cool. You don't have to drive all the way into a big city to try to get a project done. But and Corey's the same way. You're out on Long Island. There's plenty of sweet houses all over the place.
Oh,
People want stuff done. You were telling me some.
I'm
crazy
trying
story.
to get myself into the Hamptons. That's where the money is.
Absolutely. Yeah. You'll work.
Well,
you'll inch your way out there.
Oh, Patchogue from the Hamptons has got to be
Another 45 minutes to an hour.
at least an hour.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Then how does everybody find you?
Find me. You can find me CT Woodwork. It's just one word on Instagram. That's how it is. But I'm on Long Island. Like I said, I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on all that stuff. Usually my Instagram's like a daily vlog of what I'm doing, so you can see what I'm up to in the shop. And on the website, CT Woodwork, ct-woodwork.com. That's where my schedule for my classes and stuff is. And
Come visit.
Come visit.
Yeah, I'm Rob DeMarco on Instagram. I just kind of post some of the stuff that I make in my shop once in a while. A few of the 50 pens that I made to bring up here to give out. And
They were good. I got one.
I know you did.
Appreciate
I got to
that.
get my hands on one of those things.
I made 24 vases for my niece's wedding.
Yeah. Now Matt's got one.
Yeah, baby.
I'm going to use that as my official order pen.
Yeah,
That's
That's it.
signing checks with this thing only.
Yeah.
But I just try and stay busy between working with Corey and working in my own shop, staying busy, staying out of trouble.
So cool. Man, glad you guys are all able to come on with us.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks
We're
for
happy.
having us.
Happy
Thanks
to
for
have-
having us. This is sweet, dude.
How's the
Thank you.
headset? You guys like the headset?
Yeah,
Yeah.
super comfortable. Honestly, I could stand here all day with this thing on. It's super comfortable.
You gotta get the Green Street guys to get these now.
I know, right? No, this is
Yeah, I
great.
think after they were on a little bit with it, so it's.
they'll give them a little taste.
Yeah.
He goes, man, we feel like broadcasting.
Yeah.
I can
You
call
need
Monday
a
Night
green
Football.
screen behind us.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Exactly.
Well, have you been there with their new monitor?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, this is too cool. I was like, we got the whole 55-inch TV at their thing, and we can pull stuff up and talk about it.
That's amazing.
Cool.
They were doing that when we did our podcast with them a couple weeks ago. Let's look at this. I'm like, look at what? The pop.
There's the Blackthorn. There's the pond. There's that.
Yeah,
and
we
they're
were
like,
looking at everything up here. It was
That's
funny.
So cool.
Yeah, I've almost become a regular now. I got
Yeah.
Three in
You're a
the season.
3-time repeat, you know?
That's amazing. I think I gotta get down there.
You gotta get on.
Them. I know. It's been a while. We've talked about it. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, you get
Bunch
down
of
there to
busy
check out
guys.
the Edge Banner. So
Exactly,
Yeah.
Decide I need to
Matt's
get mine.
an easy date. We get
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll figure that right out. But yeah, really appreciate it, guys. This
All right,
was
thanks,
this was
man.
great.
Appreciate it.
A lot of fun.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
All right, until next time.
Later.
If you plan to attend the WoodPro Expo in Lancaster, PA on October 12th and 13th, don't forget to stop by and say hello. We'll be in booth 503. Don't forget to support our buddies at Green Street Joinery by subscribing to the American Craftsman podcast and their new YouTube channel, Today's Craftsman. Both links in the description of today's podcast.